begin. We've got another nuke, another chance to see if we get a record of rounds on nuke. Because I think in the last couple of days, it's most certainly been a record for rounds casted and rounds played on nuke between 4 different teams. But yeah, we are underway, and already we have BK1 on the Kevlar with a dropped over CZ as well. Most certainly better than the dualies. Matias already taking duels on the PT-50 toward outside, hits the opening headshot of this best of 3.
Yeah, a crazy headshot too, Matias, showing that he's looking to make his performance from yesterday show up yet again. He played amazingly yesterday in his match, and now he's looking for more, but that is a good trade back from Good, and he finds a headshot onto Reeks as they look to take ramp control, and they do actually take it. They don't want to take the ramp actually just yet. BK1, though, he is going to swing out for a little bit of damage as Faxwell finds the one player looking to go down secret.
Yeah, and they've all made their way through heaven, though. They're taking complete control of it, and they're going to drop down toward the A site and plant that bomb. Gaffello gets a nice frag toward BK1, and there's Che taking down Good, and it's all down to Deco and Faxwell, and that's a goosh. He actually manages to get the frag, but he takes 98 damage for his troubles. Faxwell does have a smoke, but they don't have a defuse kit picked up as of yet. The one thing going for them is the fact that Riccioli is 8 HP. It's actually pretty even across the board, but that's a nice peak timing for Riccioli. Gets that first kill, and now Faxwell's just going to fake the door and try and lure out one of these SWS players, because that's nothing more he can really do in this situation.
Yeah, they are going to go for the hunt, see if they can take whatever he has on him out of his hands, and they will find that kill. Riccioli finds the last. That's 2 for him in the round, and SWS, they find the pistol on their map pick, so that is a good start for them. But Isurus, we've seen them get off to a slow start on Nuke before. We've seen a lot of them on Nuke, so I'm not super worried just yet, because this map is one that can really go any direction.
Yeah, and one thing that you're absolutely right in mentioning that I don't think we actually mentioned yet is that Nuke actually is SWS's pick. I mean, we know that both these teams, you know, in this region in general, they love playing this map. Both these teams do like picking it, so it's we're curious to see how that one goes. Obviously, Isurus get to choose which side they start on, so they obviously picked CT. Now they're on a 4-spy, 3 Deagles, a Scout, and an MP9.
Yeah, they are just gonna throw those outside smokes, the smokes you see every single round in Nuke, and just cross over to Secret. There is a CT player waiting for them, that being Noxy. I don't think they're gonna quite come around the corner to him yet. I think he's just using a slight pixel angle to know when they're there. He didn't see them, but he does decide to drop the smoke anyway, and that will keep them at bay at least for a little bit. Also, Gooden has a really forward position towards ramp room. He could easily catch some of these players off if they are looking to head towards ramp. I believe it is Reeks and Riccioli who are still here in this lobby area, so he could do a lot of damage if they decide to go through there.
Yeah, Noxay is just next to the double doors right now, waiting to spot the heads as they walk toward. Oh, and there we go. That's the opening headshot. Just manages to grab one, and he can fall back behind that position as well. There's Gooden. We saw him do some ridiculous stuff on the Deagle yesterday, and that's another headshot for him. Where has he come from in the last few days when it comes to the Deagle? Absolutely remarkable. Now SWS have no choice to push out toward B. Jay at least gets a headshot and gives them a chance.
Yeah, but Deco, he's in the perfect position to find damage. He almost finds the kill onto Matios, just looking for the last tap, and there it is. Isurus, they answer back with a round of their own, bringing us to a tied scoreline. Only 2 rounds into it. That was just really, really well played from Isurus. All of their positions were exactly where they needed to be to find all of those kills. I mean, the forward positioning from Gooden to find 2 kills with the Deagle. Not only find 2 kills, but find an insane amount of information. 2 players towards B, almost a gamble stack towards B, catching the SWS players completely off guard. That was, I mean, that's about as good as a round can go if you're Isurus.
Yeah, and SWS, that they have no choice but to go for the force back in response as well, but it's a force back that is by no means as good as Isurus's force back was. So they have left the AK-47s and the Galil all to the CT side, which is a problem if you're our SWS. This should mean Isurus get a decent start, but you never know. With these Deagles, we saw them do some ridiculous things yesterday, mostly through the hands of Gooden, but still.
Yeah, right now it's just back and forth damage, kind of spamming each other through smokes, through walls. Gooden has been shooting back with some of these T players towards ramp, but it looks like they are maybe gearing up to take ramp. SWS, they're not quite sure where they want to end up just yet. They don't have a lot of map control, so there aren't a lot of options, but Matios, if he can find a good opener towards his players, they peek. That could be something. He finds one. He's looking for the second, but no, he will get taken down by BK1, who is looking for more. Riccioli will take down his teammate as well, and that is the last thing you want if you're SWS. That is going to cost them dearly. If they had 3 players alive, going into this take. This could be a very different round, but now it's a 2 versus 4, and the CTs are starting to flood this A site.
Yeah, and it's going to be a complete clear up. Che gets taken down. He was the player on full HP, and Riccioli tapped down by Gooden. So yeah, I mean, if the round wasn't hard enough, it makes it harder when you've got an enemy in the ranks apparently taking down the teammate. Of course, it was purely by accident, but these things happen. SWS will have to dust themselves off, go for a full Glock round here, and get the AK-47s in the next. It's all they can really do in this round is, wait for some utility to come in from Isurus, waste that utility down, so they don't have a. They have to repurchase it in the next round, I should say. So yeah, just one solitary flashbang on Matthias. That has to be a godly flashbang.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets something done, it gets something done. But it is actually going to be Faxwell to start off again. He was so strong on outside Nuke yesterday, and he's looking to do that again. But it's going to be Noxy to go ahead and support him. Faxwell finds a second. BK1 finds one as well. And now it's Matios all alone. The star for SWS, but there's nothing he can do with only a Glock as Noxy finds his second in the round. And Isurus really starting to put a big difference between them and SWS at the start of Nuke.
Yeah, you mentioned Matthias was the hero. I feel like he has to once again, perform to the best of his ability like he did on the Nuke game yesterday. I feel as though if he doesn't perform, we saw some great stuff from Che as well, and of course Gafolo, but I feel like if Matthias has a bit of a poor game, then I am a little bit concerned for SWS's chance in this best of 3. But we'll have to see how it goes. Who knows? We might have a complete polar opposite from yesterday, and it might be, 2 incredibly quick maps. Who knows? That is the joy of Counter-Strike. You never know for sure, and every round is different.
Yeah, all I do know is that we will at least see Ancient, which I am excited for.
Yeah, that is great, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. But SWS, they take a tactical timeout just to decide what they're going to do in this round, and it looks like they're going to go for mostly a full buy, but we see Che actually full saving up except for a little bit of utility. I don't know if he's trying to hold on to some money for a possible op in the next round. Maybe their plan is if we win this, well, as I say that, he buys the AK. My bad. He was just taking a little bit of time to have that decision come through, so I guess I was getting a little bit too excited to predict there, but no, they will full buy into this round, and I'm not sure quite what they want to do. It looks like they maybe want to take this towards a little bit faster than usual. It's not a full-on rush, as they are just kind of waiting in lobby at the moment, but they are gearing up for a take, and it should come through right here. Flashes all around Noxy. He's going to be completely flashed out. Is there anything he can get? No, it's quick, fast kills for the side of SWS, and Gooden, he tries his best to find an answer back, but only finds one.
That was just a straight up pounce, wasn't it? I mean, often when you see the outside smokes come in, it can be quite a slow round, but this time I suppose that they caught Isurus a little bit off guard in that situation, and of course, Faxwell did have his AWP. We saw him do some wondrous things on that yesterday, but in the end could only get the one frag. And Gooden can only go 1 for 1 as well. So SWS with a real nice pounce there from Hut in toward the A site, taking every entry basically with the help of those flashbangs. That puts them in decent stead. Looks like we're going in toward A again. Actually, they're going to double down on it. 2 in a row. Will they get the damage done? Deco only goes 1 for 1. 2 toward heaven for Isurus right now. There's a gap in that main smoke though.
Yeah, there is. I mean, if Noxy can find anything through here, maybe there's a chance. But honestly, right as Faxwell falls in heaven, Noxy is all alone. There's almost nothing he can do. They hear him break that glass, and they are going to hunt him. I don't know if he'll be ready for 2 players coming from Mini, and no, Gafolo will be holding outside, and he's going to find that op kill. Nice and easy. So SWS answer back with 2 quick takes of the A side. I think they're realizing, hey, maybe A is a little bit weak for Isurus, and Isurus probably made the same realization, so they're going to call a tactical timeout, maybe decide to talk about it and figure out why the A site is falling so easy.
Yeah, that is a promising couple of rounds for SWS. They've already figured out 2 things that work for them really successfully, and we saw yesterday. We had 2 polar opposite games on Nuke, didn't we? The 2 real long matches that went to quintuple and quadruple overtime. One CT sides were the most successful, and one the T sides was most successful. So I'm curious to see if how it works, whether it's a bit more balanced today between this matchup, which I don't believe we've ever seen before. I don't think these 2 teams have ever played each other, going by the research we had a look at a little bit earlier. So we'll be curious to see if anything differs from yesterday. Unfortunately, Isurus will be just down to a full eco on this one. It's only Noxay on the Deagle, and they've been forced into that after 2 very, very nice, fast rounds from SWS.
Yeah, that was, I mean, just very well played from SWS. The fact that they take that time out to really figure out what they need to do and perfectly, I mean, read what the weaknesses from the side of Isurus are and have the confidence to go for it again. I mean, that's good stuff. That's good Counter-Strike, but Isurus, this is pretty much a guaranteed round in favor of SWS. That's correct English there. I apologize, but Isurus, if they can do some damage here, that is definitely going to be, you know, better than what is most likely, probably better than what they expected. So, not a round win that Isurus are looking for, but damage to be sure.
Yeah, they actually are taking their time here, SWS. I think they're aware that Isurus's economy is, completely broken, so they don't want to walk into a stack anywhere. They're just taking it methodically and slowly. And of course, when you've got the AWP on Gafolo, you don't want to lose that cheaply. So keep it away, get the rifles go in first, and you should all be fine. There's Riccioli taking down Faxor, and that's the first main puzzle piece found. And it should mean that SWS will take a lead at 4-3. Riccioli finds a second and a third. Looking for the anti-eco ace here. This could be possible, but he's down to 32 HP. Not to say will take Matthias down, but that's the only frag they've had in response so far. That's an AK that can be recovered, and Riccioli's going in for that frag, but he's now tagged down to 6.
Yeah, Noxy, I don't know if he goes for this peek here, though, as his teammates have died. It's a little overzealous to stick around. They do have the money to buy into the next, but loses an AK for that peek and doesn't really find anything for it. I think it was a little bit too hopeful to maybe peek for that, though. I say that knowing Noxy, or Noxay, excuse me, we did learn how to pronounce that yesterday, is having a pretty solid game so far. 122 ADR he is, leading his team in kills as well. So, I mean, if you feel like you can hit it, then go for the peek. You know, who am I to tell you not to?
Yeah, absolutely. And now we got the first buy up for Faxwell on the AWP. We've seen him on it once already, but it hasn't really, only really worked out for a quick 1-for-1. So we saw that rush come in toward A, twice in a row, and it was very ballsy to go for it for a second time. It looks like they want to go for something similar once again. There's an regression toward ramp from Gooden, and he will actually go 1-for-1. That's not too bad considering he walks straight through that smoke. In the end, the trades make it 3 versus 3, but ramp is open.
Yeah, they will have access to not heaven, that's for sure, as Faxwell is going to hold the line with his op, finds the first, and that causes these CT players to head more towards B. That is going to be the bomb on the back of Riccioli and Mattios, two players who have been extremely solid for the side of SWS, heading towards the B site. But Deco is here at the right time. The question is, will he find a good timing? He sees them. I don't know if they see him. He finds the first, and now Riccioli is alive with the bomb only. The door will open, and Riccioli just has to dance around trying to find this kill, and he cannot find it. Deco will win the round for his team. 2 kills on the B site for him, and Isurus find a 4th.
Yeah, very nicely done indeed. I felt like Riccioli had a chance at that clutch, to be honest. But in the end, when you're playing with the double doors toward B, it can be hard to get the correct timing on our CT holding that angle. So it's in the end, it's Isurus who will even up the score once again at 4 each. And Faxwell still has his AWP. So it's actually been a very nice, even start for both these teams. There's no one lagging behind. Everyone's got off the board early. Everyone's building up their confidence. So as we said, it is a crucial BO3 with the loser being eliminated. So yeah, all good. And we get started with a very even nuke.
Yeah, that aggressive take from Jay outside is going to make this round, at least map control-wise, a little bit in favor of SWS, as he's already down on the B side. I think Gooden is aware of this possibility. It was heard by Faxwell outside, so he is going to con that over to his teammates. But he's also getting tested outside as well. 2 players trying to fight his op, trying to force him off the angle, so he will have to give up outside at least a little bit, hold a closer angle, and that's more map control for SWS. As I say that, he actually does find one. Gafolo will trade on the B site, but Gooden is in a good position, but no kill comes through for him, and that's the B site lost, as Amali will lock this player ramp out of the site. BK1, he runs through it. Will he be ready for the players on site, though? He finds 1, he finds 2, and now he has to find the bomb planter, as Riccioli is still on the A site.
Yeah, this is an interesting lurk. I mean, often this sort of thing works. It can be a shock for Isurus if he gets it behind them here, but Gafolo's still holding towards single door. He has the sideline with the AWP. In comes a flash that will fully blind him. He'll take the timing shot, but miss it. They do have a defuse kit, of course, as you mentioned, and an incendiary as well. Trying to try and body block each other, but no. Riccioli on that flank gets that one frag needed, and Gafolo can easily finish it off. And that is another lead again for SWS. That's always having a player coming in from vent late. It can either work it can either work catching a rotation, or it can work catching a flank on an unexpected CT. He was a little bit late at that time, and I think it was an obvious position he was coming from either way, but still. It's always a factor that's nice to have on you, because a bit like mid lurks on Vertigo, you always know it's kind of going to be there, but if it catches the timing, it can be a tough one to deal with.
Yeah, that was well played from SWS, and it also sends both Riccioli and Gaffolo to the top frag spot for their team and in the server. They are both tied with Deco, all three of those players having 7 kills, but each of them finding one there on that afterplane is just, about as clean as it gets. Also, 9 rounds into the first half, and Isurus have used 3 of their timeouts at this point. They just used 2 in a row. They just need a little more time to talk about what was going on. We've seen them do this in the past, and it usually seemed to be a somewhat smart play from them. They usually figured out what they needed to talk about when using those 2 timeouts at once. So I don't question whether or not it was worth it. I just question whether or not they're going to be really hurting with not having another timeout later in the second half.
Yeah, I am a little bit surprised that they chose to, use 2 of their timeouts on this one, because, I feel like it's a pretty obvious situation. I mean, you've got BK1 on 4.6. You can afford to buy Deagle and Kevlar, and maybe a bit of utility, but I would say probably full eco on everyone else to have everything you could ever want in the next round. I would say BK1 not buying the Kevlar is smart, because that means he now can, I believe, drop the AWP to Factor in the next round. So it's always important. Don't buy Kevlar when you don't need it, when you're probably not going to win the round anyway with 4 teammates not on Kevlar. So they're going to forego it, save that money for the next. And SWS have a chance to pull away for the first time, I believe, for a 2-round lead.
Yeah, they're definitely in a good position. I like the way Isurus are playing, though. The aggressive outside control to give them control of pretty much the entire map, at least when it comes to outside. I do like that a lot, but this is a good read from SWS. SWS, They realize that this means that elsewhere on the map is lacking, though it's not ramp room. It's actually A, and Noxa, he's in a good position to find a dink onto one player. That's it, but Gooden, can he find anything? No, that's a quick and clean ramp take from the side of SWS, meaning BK1 is all alone, and now he's gone. A very, very quick kill from Che, his second in the round. And SWS, they make sure that their 6th round is a clean one.
Yeah, I mentioned it would be nice to see, Matthias keep up that form that we've seen him show over the last couple of games. Well, I mean, at the moment, he doesn't really need to do anything, because the frags from Riccioli, he's up to 9-6. He was the one player, actually, which is, ironic, that actually struggled on Nuke yesterday in that long 31-29 overtime. I think he barely managed to touch 30, so it's nice to see him getting off to a good start. Good for the confidence, especially after playing so much of this map yesterday. And Che is sticking with his Mac 10 against this buy round, of course. There's actually no one on Isurus at all with a helmet, so that Mac 10 can be very, very effective.
Yeah, and it was almost a little bit dangerous there, as Noxe also got spammed through a smoke as he made his way down to the B site. But as he goes down to the B side, it actually looks like the A site is going to be the one under attack, at least with a little bit of utility. I think it might have been a fake, as these players are actually backing up and looking to send the utility again. Is this a double fake for A? It looks like it with the utility they're doing. I'm not quite sure. They're dropping smokes for... I'm not sure what these lineups are. I believe they are for the... Oh, that's a nade stack. It doesn't land on anyone, but Che is in a good position to find one before he's quickly traded by BK1. And now SWS, they are going to slow it down a little bit, looking to take ramp.
Yeah, so it's a bit sickening, isn't it, when a Mac 10 gets an entry on a full buy round, but it works out and it creates some space as well. And Chris Noxe is also only on 41 HP. That could prove to be an important factor for this one. They only haven't got a couple of flashes, and that's already a nice entry from Matthias. That's basically opened up everything, I would say. There's a bit of a duel going on back toward the lobby position, but at the moment it's forward. Good answer back, actually, for Isurus. Noxe just manages to nab that frag away. Now Faxal's rotating in quickly, but Rux is ready for it. Only just, though. Now they know where BK1 is coming in from as well. I believe he made a few footsteps. That has put Rux on full alert for this position. Now he's taken down to 41, and Riccioli can swing wide. And that is 7-4. For SWS. Very, very nice indeed. That was they sort of split up quite a lot there in that take, but it worked out nicely in the end. Faxal couldn't get that one frag as he sort of jumped into Rix, basically. And yeah, that's 7-4. 3 rounds in the lead now.
I think what kind of went wrong in that round, and something that I've seen from... I think it's been Gooden who's mainly been playing towards ramp for the side of Isurus. Something I'm not a big fan of when it comes to his playstyle on ramp, and I don't know if this is really his fault or more just, calming that's coming through from his team, or you know, just the type of round that they've decided to play. Also, that's a quick pick outside as they cross over to Secret. But the way he re-peaks ramp after losing it, I've seen him do that a couple of times, and I've seen it lose him his life more often than not. So I don't know how much I like that peak from him, that re-aggression. Also, oh, that was a little bit worrying. Faxwell does find one before he falls, but yeah, SWS, they still have 4 alive, and BK1, he only has a deagle, so this should be over. But I think that giving up ramp is maybe a better play than re-aggressing, seeing if you can go for that.
Honestly, I completely agree with you. I'm absolutely on board with that, because we've seen, you know, him just stick around a little bit too long. There was multiple instances where, you know, he played that headshot angle on top of the box, which is, you know, how you're supposed to play it. But then, after getting the information and maybe taking one frag, he'll just won't drop down toward the B site and call ramp open, which is what you usually do. He'll, you know, just creep around on the edge of the lip of the ramp. And I feel like that's such an easy angle for a T just to, you know, own you. So yeah, I do agree with you that maybe he's a little bit overzealous and a little bit too aggressive toward that ramp position. We do see BK1 manage to save this AK, or at least try and save this AK with that one frag on the deagle, and it would be an important save because that'll obviously afford him full utility and a defuse kit as well in this next round. Obviously, Isurus have full loss bonus by now, but they need to build up some rounds.
Yeah, that's a good save, at least for the side of Isurus. The fact that they're on their CT side is a little worrying because their CT side was their extremely strong side just yesterday when they were playing against the likes of Young Sharks. So hopefully they can pick up the pace a little bit. They will have a buy here, especially with that saved over AK. That means BK1 can drop to a teammate. And Noxy has more than enough to buy up a rifle as well. So if there's any round that, that Isurus need to make something happen, it's going to be this one, because SWS, their economy is just, I mean, unstoppable at this point. They have to lose at least 2 rounds in a row for something to happen. Also, whoa, BK1, I've never seen that molly before. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fancy. I mean, it's so easy just to throw it, you know, straight ahead. But he just, you know, if you can do it fancy, do it fancy, because that's a lovely way to throw it. And maybe I've been blind to that one, but that's definitely a new variation of throwing that particular Molotov toward the hut position. But yeah, anyway, it's going to be an open trade, and there's Faxwell on the AWP. This is where we need to see him do some work. He does take down a little bit of a lurk in Gafolo because SWS have taken the secret position and are looking to take the B side. They have got 2 players in vents though, so they could go back up toward A if they decide to.
Yeah, there's a decent amount of map control for the side of SWS, at least when it comes towards the B site. But they can't really get anything done until they clear out Noxe, because he is just a thorn in their side right now. And you can see how wary they are of him, just how slow they are walking through all of the B-site halls, just trying to find him. They are going to use the nade sound effect to try and cover them opening the door. They synchronize it with a nade thrown from their teammate, so Noxe can maybe not hear the door open, but it doesn't matter if he hears it or not, because now he's dead, and that's going to be the signal to his teammates that the B-site is the one being attacked. So we will see the rotate coming through as BK1 is looking to find the opener onto this player. He will find Reeks, and that was a very important first kill. Now Deco up next, trying to find something as well.
Yeah, that is a really important kill. It just gives them a chance. They have managed to plant the bomb in time, which is fine. But now Faxwell has a chance to rotate in. But no, Matches will blindside him. The trade from Deco is good, though. Now it's all down to Che. Stuck in dark right now. He has a chance to possibly catch Deco if he peeks with a grenade out. In comes a smoke for the bomb, but he just taps it slowly. And he catches Deco while falling as well. That's unfortunate timing, it has to be said, for Deco, to be honest. I mean, to jump at literally as they get the information that he's toward dark and that tap comes in, it's like the one spot you don't want to be in that situation is midair, and he was. So Che will win out the clutch, and a very nice one at that. I mentioned he showed up nicely yesterday on this map, and he's here again at 13-7. Good start for SWS. Very comfortable looking so far.
That was, I mean, just unfortunate. It's a little surprising they don't decide to clear that angle, but the B site is such a large site to clear out, and it's one of the less common angles, when it comes to that specific bomb spot. So it makes sense that that's one of the places they choose not to waste any time clearing. Also, Faxwell not wasting any time finding that kill onto Che outside. But it's just an unfortunate play out for Isurus. But 4 versus 4 into this round, definitely have a good chance to make this one go in their favor. But SWS, they are just going to slow it down a little bit and see where they can find some weaknesses from Isurus in this round. Oh,
a lot of damage done to Gafolo. Yeah, that's down to 24 now on the AWP. Of course, it won't matter too much being on the AWP, being low HP is not the end of the world, and some damage has been exchanged as well in response. SWS are still, all 4 players in lobby. Gafolo now will shift his way up the ladder toward T roof. So SWS have most certainly not decided on exactly what they want to do as of yet. They've got some grenades now coming in toward A. CT vent will be mollied, main will be smoked, in come the grenades. It looks like they will be going in together here. Vent is a possibility, but it looks like they're going to be concentrating toward A.
Yeah, they are just going to be breaking out into the site. They find so many kills so quickly. Gooden is only good for 1, and after that he immediately falls, meaning Faxwell is now all alone. He was playing towards B ramp, but there's really no reason to go for this retake. He's just going to hold on to that op. And SWS, they find a 10th. They hit double digits already in the first half, so they are sitting very pretty right now when it comes to round count. They are just, I'm sure they're extremely happy with how this first half is going. You can see why it's their map pick and not Isurus's, at least so far.
Yeah, as you say, that they will be very happy with this starter. It is their pick as well, as we've mentioned. So it's I think the thing that's most impressive to me is that it's different to yesterday. I mean, they're really putting those T rounds on the board very quickly early on. That's a nice shot from Faxwell actually to try and save this AWP. But it's a crucial save, so he does need to keep hold of it. There's no one anywhere near him, so it's just that one frag required, and they will have the 2 AWPs into the next round absolutely safely. So, yeah, very good from SWS, up to 10, as you say, double digits on the board, and into the final round of the half. It's now, I would say, almost at a stage of a must-win for Isurus. 10-5, I would say, critical to give themselves a good shot on their T side, but SWS really proving that their pick is working well today.
Yeah, I mean, I think this round, of course, will be a great one that they could win. It's going to be difficult considering their economy, which you see the timeout even come through so they can figure out what they're going to do here. But I would say almost more important is the pistol of the second half. If they could win that, if they could get back at least 1 or 2 rounds, if they're able to convert off of that victory, then that could really give them the momentum they need in a second half to bring it back. But if SWS are able to win this last round right here and then the pistol of the second half as well, then Isurus, they are in really, really deep water.
Yeah, and it will be curious just to see how this series plans out for that reason alone, because we mentioned earlier the fact that both these teams are the teams that were expected to lose yesterday. To be fair, the 2 teams that were expected to win did manage to take the victory, so it's a big opportunity for one of these 2 teams to make it through to that consolidation final and one more chance at taking that 1 extra slot in the main event for DreamHack Open, and that is okay. Gafolo, Deco is out of the round straight away in pretty comedic fashion, and look at the damage taken by BK1 as well. I mean, already it's almost over.
Oh, there it is. That's crazy that Gooden even trades that kill, but Che, he just ran through outside and somehow was completely, not stopped in any way, shape, or form. That's a good nade from Matios, and that means the bomb will go down as well, meaning it's all on to Noxay, and Matios, he always hits those. So a very, very clean round from SWS. It was a little bit scary for a bit there. I do think a trade or 2 was traded back, but then they just exploded onto the site and found all the kills they needed. It was really the flank from Che that just completely locked that down. So really, really good stuff from SWS, but that is the half.
Yep, Gooden was one to get 2 in response, but in the end, as you say, the flank from Che was spot on. And SWS have really made that work on their T side, didn't they? I mean, we saw it from Riccioli toward B as well, not just that flank toward A. So they're making both sites work with various separate plays that it feels like maybe didn't actually work yesterday. So yeah, it's great stuff from them so far. And they put themselves in pole position. But, as everyone says, 11-4 is pretty scary. If a pistol is won by Isurus, you can often get closed up a lot faster than you are expecting. So they still need to bring this one through. We saw, I think, both games, I believe, yesterday, or at least one of them. We know for a fact one of them was a 12-3, 12-3 on the CT sides. So it's, it can easily, comebacks can easily happen on a map like Nuke. But SWS, I think they'll be pretty confident in their CT going into the second half. A little bit of a break before we get into that second half, but shouldn't be too long.
Yeah, it'll be just a little bit, just server stuff and so on and so forth getting figured out. It happens in every single game. Of course, we can always talk about map 2 a little bit because we are going to see it, and looks like if Isurus do lose this, that's going to be a very important map for them because they're going to have to win that to take us to a map 3, make it possible. That is the pick of Isurus as well, but it's not a map that they're known for an extreme amount, really. They've played it a little bit, but they have a 50% win rate on this map. So not a giant amount when you really look at it, but it's not awful either. I'm seeing if I can pull up what some of their past games on this map were. So their biggest win and biggest defeat are actually both at the hands of the same team. But yeah, they played 6 total matches on Ancient, won 3 of them, lost 3 of them. And that's not really a map pick percentage per se, but maybe they've been training it more. Maybe it's been in their prac. Maybe it's something they're crazy at now. I mean, only time will tell.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell. Even if you have a team in tier 1, for example, that plays Ancient, a decent amount, it will be hard to sort of tell where it actually sits because it's still so early. The map is still so early in the cycle that I feel like, just looking at HLTV stats, even though they are, they are pretty representative because they are, obviously those stats are mostly South American region alone. So it kind of does tell the tale. It's hard to know what exactly to take from it and whether it's worth considering it highly. I would say I do favor Isurus on map 2 on Ancient either way, but still, it's you always have to take them a little bit with a pinch of salt, especially on a map that's only been out a few months. So here we go. We're underway for the second half. Dualies on Riggs and Cullen. You hate them.
It's not that I hate them. I don't believe in them. I would say I'm neutral on them. I hate the idea of buying them on a pistol round in an important match for your team because I've yet to see them. I think I've seen them get maybe 1 kill like in the past week of casting I've done, and I don't even know if it was a good kill. Usually they just immediately get like headshot, which I mean with any pistol that's going to happen to you, but I feel like they're a bad luck omen. Though as I say that, we are going to see a fight outside come through, nowhere near where the dualies are, as it is a quick trade. Noxe and Matios taken out of the round within seconds. So now it's going to be on to Gafolo here down on the B site. He will get a little bit of a connection, but Deco, he will quickly find that headshot. Yeah, very fast and very nice headshot from him.
That was really tasty. It looked like the PT50 was actually the frag or the player to get that one, but not to be in the end. And the problem for SWS is they've invested into the defuse kit, the dualies, and a CZ as well. They had 3 players out of the 4 there in that situation that didn't have Kevlar. So sure, they've got instantaneously headshot, but still the final 2 who don't have Kevlar obviously are very squishy. So
Deco didn't see him.
And Vaxwall, that's a frag on toward Che. That is unfortunate for Che. I really felt like he had that one, but in the end, down to 9 HP. Now it's a defuse kit available, but no armor on either of them. This is going to be almost impossible.
Wait, the dualies are out. The dualies are out. Gooden finds the first, but the dualies, can they get something done? There it is, finally! Hey. The dualies get something done! I mean, it's not the round yet. Oh no, don't make me eat my words there. That's going to make me look real. It's going to make me look real stupid. That is a good nade from Reeks, but it looks like he is actually going to back off, opt to just hold on to the defuse kit he has in his hands, maybe just hope for some exits. But Isurus, they are not going to head out that way at all. They're going to make their way back towards Secret, and that is a very, very important pistol round for the side of Isurus. That is exactly what they needed.
Yeah, and it's actually a pretty smart save in the end from Riggs because, the grenade came in. I think if that grenade did take down that low HP of Faxwell on that 9 HP, he might have been interested in going for it because, 1v2 straight away. But it would make sense in the end as it only did the 50 HP damage to fall back with those dual Berettas. And go on.
I took a glimpse at chat, and I believe the auto mod was designed or had a setting where it would auto delete messages that weren't in English. But they found a loophole, which is that they don't add any spaces when speaking in any other language. So I assume they're speaking in either Spanish or Portuguese right now, but it's all just one word. So it just looks like gibberish to the bot, which improvise, adapt, overcome. You love to see it.
Yeah, that is pretty smart stuff. But in the meantime, though, this is a pretty big round for SWS. They're going to hit back with these pistols. The dualies went down straight away, but the pistols of the CZ, the Deagle, look at that. They've already got 2 AKs recovered. And in the end, the Scout of Gafolo gets 3 kills in total. That is absolutely remarkable. That is put a stop to Isurus straight away. Hitting straight back means that Isurus now back down to 7 behind. And their economy is going to be what? They obviously will force back, but it'll be Deagle a scout, and that not much else. SWS are in the ascendancy on this map, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, they were so close. Isurus were so close to having the exact thing they needed, but sadly that round is just stolen away from them. I did talk over it just a little bit too much because I was, of course, being entertained by chat a little bit. But more importantly, that is an opener from Matios. Buffalo is going to nade down a player as well. So Isurus looks like they're already out of this round. Lost 2 players unless they can do something absolutely insane. There's really no chance for them here. Unless maybe Deco gets something done outside on a really well-timed flank, but I don't know if that's going to be possible, especially with Gafolo holding this with the scout. Excuse me, never mind.
Okay.
There it is.
Scout versus scout, and it's Deco doing it out. And that rhymed. That was lovely.
Ooh.
And then more damage actually tagging Che down to 88. Unfortunately, there's not really much more you can do in that position. The scout, if he hits the shot, it could be a cheeky frag. We've seen Simple do that in the past, I believe, on this map, on a bit more further back into that situation, but in the end, Che will punish him. So a comfortable frag for him, and that means it's just 2 Eagles remaining on Isurus. That's 1 back for BK1, and there's still 45 seconds in the round to go. He can recover an AK-47, one that was rightfully theirs in the previous round before they lost them to that Scout and Deagle. So they're going to turn down the clock now. The bomb is toward the T roof, so with 30 seconds to go, so that might take a bit of time to recover and head toward a site.
Oh, that's a great shot from Gooden. I thought Matios was about to find that. In fact, I was just about to switch to his cam so we could catch that kill, but no, it's actually Gooden to find that instead. And they're going to head towards the B site, which is pretty much clear. Reeks is going to make his way down here with the vent, and oh, I don't know if they're... Yeah, they are eventually going to go for it. I wasn't sure if they were waiting a little bit, but Gooden, he's going to find that, and are they actually going to bring this back? There's only a few seconds left, so the bomb plant needs to come through now, and Riccioli, I think he knows that the time is not on their side, so he goes for the quick peek, but luckily they predicted well and planted on the other side of the silo, and BK1 is good for the kill. Isurus saved themselves from what could have been a disastrous round loss there. That is exactly what they needed to save their economy and save their life in Nuke. So that is absolutely wonderful from them.
Yeah, that's critical to keep them alive. I mean, if they lose that round, SWS are basically guaranteed 14 because Isurus will be on a full eco in that after that loss. So in the end, they still back some of the guns and have almost a full bite in response. And SWS obviously will force because this is the force battle still continuing, but they still have double the score of Isurus. So just calm down a little bit, try and win out these crossfires. Don't panic too much earlier on, and you should be okay if you're at SWS, even if you lose this round. Gaffello still has the AWP, by the way. Still a cross cannon, and he's already got the first frag in a lovely fashion as well. They tried to make their way down towards Secret, but they put that up in the right spot. And can he do even more?
Yeah, Faxwell will trade one back with Matios. He's good for one. Riccioli finds another as well. I'm not even sure where these frags are happening, but they sure are happening. Matios actually was there where the op used to be. Is Gafolo has actually rotated up towards the A site, meaning it's now BK1 all alone in a 1 versus 3, and there's a flank slowly but surely coming in behind him, so Reeks, he should have a decent timing here, unless BK1 can find the first 2. He finds one, but he can't find the second. Matios is good for the shot and good for the kill, so rounds traded back and forth is now SWS. They find a 13th.
That one was a little bit spread out from SWS, wasn't it? I mean, that was a little bit sort of, okay, we know we can break their economy with this round victory. I won't say nerves came into the factor. I would just say maybe a bit of indecision in general, and they got picked off pretty comfortably in the end. And now they are onto those Glocks that I mentioned, so SWS will, a round later than planned probably, but still, they should get up to 14 very quickly. There's Gafo looking to try and farm now, get his stats up to what they were in that previous Nuke game we played the other day. And now more toward ramp. Rex gets one. Matios helps out for the second. Already we've got 1 kill each so far. That's it. Share the ecos, guys. That's polite.
Yeah, I mean, just making sure everyone on the team feels like they're involved. Want to make sure no one gets any participation awards. Everyone actually gets a few kills, so very nice. That's true teamwork, actually, but Matios, he's going to get greedy. He's going to find his second in the round, and now Deco, he's all alone, knows that there's probably a flank coming his way, and Shea, he will find the last. So sadly, Riccioli doesn't have a chance to find a kill in that round because Matios took 2 for his own, but I'm sure he's fine considering his team is now sitting only 2 rounds away from taking map 1.
Yeah, and often, that can be the way it is, isn't it? I mean, I said beforehand, this could be easily a polar opposite match, one that goes past really quickly. And, SWS, they're on the verge taking a nuke very comfortably indeed, which is certainly unlike anything we saw yesterday. So it looks like they're going to go from a little bit more aggression toward outside as well. In go the MP9s, playing aggressively with these smokes and flashbangs. Che does get a trade. Noxe goes down. There's Gafolo activated as well. They will go back in toward A, but it's not going to work. Or ramp, sorry. And Riccioli can take Gooden 2v4. BK1 answers back for another, and they're going to try. They can still split heaven. BK1 will make noise on the ladder. That means Matthias will be aware of it. But he should be playing time. He actually taps him down nicely. Now it's all down to Factual in a 1v3 to basically keep this game alive.
Yeah, they're going to know exactly where he is. They should hear him head up the ladder. He might be able to get to the site and actually get a plant down, but I mean, he's going to get pushed from every single angle almost instantaneously. It's going to be 2 players. I don't know where the 5 came from. 2 players, 3 players peeking from heaven. He is going to reposition at least, but they're going to see him from around the corner. Gafolo's going to find the kill with a pistol, and the defuse will come through. That is a map point for SWS on their own map pick, as Isurus are looking at a next to nothing buy.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that goes in their favor, as you mentioned, is the fact that, you know, Faxel can get that bomb planted and get a little bit of extra cash for his team in the next round. But as you say, it's looking so good for SWS. In the end, Gafolo jumping down there on the 2 HP. You could tell he was being extra careful not to die to fall damage, jumping on the silo first after taking that frag with the 5.7. 5.7, fantastic pistol, of course, as a sidearm. When you are the AWP player, now they're just up against Mac 10, 3 Tech 9s and a Deagle to possibly see this game out.
Yeah, I don't know if they caught Matthias crossing over to Secret there as well, and that is such a strong position if it goes unchecked. If they decide to push outside and aren't ready for him sitting there, that is almost a guaranteed free kill, especially considering his teammate Gafolo is here to back him up as well. But it looks like Isurus are actually heading more towards lobby, more towards the A site. So it is going to be the likes of Riccioli and Shea tested here if the explosion does happen. But as I say, that Gafolo is here to help as well, and Gafolo has been stellar. In fact, all of these players for SWS have been crazy. Mattios and Shea both on 20 kills, Gafolo on 18. They have just looked so good in this map. Riccioli's looking to open it up, catching a player without utility, finds 2 and backs off. That is a great peek from him. He is going to try to back off, but he finds a 3rd as well, and now it's Deco and Faxwell all alone. Gafolo will find 1, and Deco will fall to Mattios. 16-6. SWS Gaming, they take map.